Welcome back, dear friends. Wow, this drone or UAP mystery is getting deeper, crazier, and more frustrating. First, we're going to watch some videos and two separate things. We'll see third phase of the moon after this one. This is a little compilation I want to show you first. Then we'll get to what third phase of the moon just covered. Then I'm actually going to break down to what some of my contacts have talked about. So let's start with this little compilation. And here you go. This has audio for you today.
Let's talk about the drones. It's getting weird. I spent all night watching different videos from different people. One, they're not just in New Jersey. They're everywhere now. A lot of different states are reporting. I grabbed a couple of clips from other creators. I'm going to tag them all, but let's look at those clips real quick. So this one is in New Jersey, and it's the triangle-shaped drones. Okay, this one was in New Jersey, but watch the way it hides itself. Bloop, lights off.
These are not drones flying on our
This one's Arizona.
Guys. There's no way they're drones.
Agreed.
This thing just sat for about 20 minutes.
See, and this is not
sat station. I was gonna do a look at it, come back out.
This looks like a ghost light. That's not a drone. It's not any kind of. Like this one was also New Jersey, and it's an Udo. And this one was really crazy because the little one comes off the side. Her video was long, but y'all should go watch that because it was very interesting to me. I'm gonna tag her. That looks like a ghost light. My ghost light theory is looking real good right now. I'm just saying.
Hello, guys.
This one is in Ohio.
Richmond, Ohio again. Watching the skies for you. I've got another one. That is not a star. That is the moon. That is a star over there. It's triangular in shape.
See, and she's saying it looks triangular.
And again, when I zoom up closer, it's spinning. That's not a star.
It's like an orb.
You can see.
So you see there's like two different types
It's spinning.
of drones.
What is this?
It's Miami Beach.
Is this the same kind of drone that they're seeing in New Jersey?
Another ghost light.
They do that all the time.
This one is really crazy.
Have you seen the bumble? Maybe
No.
Definitely go watch this full video.
It's two.
So it disappears.
bumblebees.
I'm waiting for it to light up again because a plane just flew past
Hold on.
it. See
Boom.
what the
There
fuck?
it is.
Those fire.
It cloaked itself.
What just
when an
happened?
airplane
What
flew
is
by.
Going on?
What is that? What? When did those turn into fireworks? I'm so confused.
What is going on? You can one too.
There is something real weird going
See,
on.
that
Something
shit
real
isn't-
strange.
You can't tell me those are balloons.
So here's my conclusion, or my hypothesis, my little theory I'm building in my brain, is that not all the drones are coming from the same source. Some of these are us. That's what I think. I think maybe the drone-looking ones are us, or the military, the government. But these are not us. These are not anybody. Because here's my thing. There is only a few possibilities here based on the way the government is handling this. For one, though, is that there is absolutely no way that this is a foreign adversary or that they even think that it could be. Where would they get a ghost light? But even these, there's no way it's a foreign adversary. There is absolutely no way they would let that fly. America is way too happy. So possibility number two, they know what it is. They know what they are. They don't consider them enemies and don't want to engage and make them enemies. And so they are observing them observing us. Or an even scarier third possibility, they actually do have no clue, no earthly idea what's going on. And so they already tried to shoot one down and couldn't. I don't know if y'all have heard about a lot of the drones that people are trying to send up coming crashing back to the ground. People are reporting their radios messing up while they're driving underneath the drones. And let's just say these are us. These are not us. Based on that hypothesis, there's not a good chance that they're going to be able to shoot that down. It's likely made of plasma or, I don't know, gas or electricity. I'm not a scientist, but I'm just saying, I think it's highly likely that some of them in the sky are us and some are them, whoever them are. In case it really makes you wonder about that thing that was going around, about the freaking prediction from AI scanning the internet, and there was something everybody was talking about on December something, the beginning of December, how there was going to be an alien war. Military and the aliens were going to be in the sky. And that didn't happen. And we all hee-heed about it. But what if it did happen? And that's what we're seeing right now. I really do think that some of them are them and some of them are us. But there are more and more.
Okay. It was just about to say, wrap up what she was saying there. Anyhow, we're going to get to the next video, and I'm just going to let it play with the audio off because there's a lot to unpack with what she said. So while you watch some new footage, and by the way, some of this footage is not just structured craft. It looks like something paranormal. It could be even a biological ET. So let me get with this other footage. And what she said, she's absolutely right. This involves everything. We have our tech, we have fixed wing aircraft, we have UAVs, we have hobby drones. We probably also have ARVs, alien reproduction vehicles, as well as genuine aliens. Now, a lot of you people that have been OG subscribers of mine for a long time know I have a lot of contacts. You've seen my interviews from everybody from politicians with my connections to President Trump, not directly, but indirectly with the people that I've interviewed that were literally advisors to him. NSA, CIA, DIA, NASA. I've had everybody on this show and pretty much every ufologist if you've seen my interviews. So this is what I've gathered. And it's so much, it doesn't make sense. That's why what is true. Now, when I ask my friends at the CIA, NSA, FBI, they say they do know what they are. That, of course, the media is trying not to scare us, although it's just BS, the bureaucrats at the FBI. We don't know what they are, but it's no threat. Come on, that is the biggest contradiction of them all. Second of all, this whole thing about Ukraine losing a nuke and somehow it ending up over our shore on the East Coast. But that wouldn't explain why they're over here in California now as well. Now, Joel Skousen, who is Alex Jones' InfoWars World Affairs expert, who used to be mine until I couldn't let him be on here anymore, not because I didn't want him, because YouTube made it impossible, because it was just demonetized. He used to say, if you go back to my interviews with him, that Russia and China will have a dirty bomb or a low-yield nuclear bomb go off on the East Coast, and the deep state will allow this to happen, to essentially bring in World War III or whatever, a fake alien invasion, God knows what. The point is he was saying this 6 years ago before the Ukraine war even started. So I wonder if that's got something to do with it. Now, you also have the people that say we, however, lost our own nuclear weapons, and that seems to have gotten out. Now, there's a video, if you want me to put up, it's about 7 years old, and it shows our plane, this technology, and they have these things attached where they could essentially sniff out nuclear weapons. Now, take that same thing attached to these planes, put it on a drone, and that may very well be what some of these drones are doing. Now, this is where it gets crazy. Did you know that some people are receiving telepathic messages? That's right. You heard me correctly. Telepathic messages are being told, are being heard from people. Some are saying, come outside now. Just random stuff. Have you also heard the audio when people turn on the radio? And it's just, sometimes it's weird noises. Other times it sounds like it could be like alien voices. It is eerie. Again, if you want that stuff, let me know. I will get it to you. I love seeing these fleets because the reason I chose that clip of that chick that we just played is because she covered a lot of the things I wanted to say. What if the Webbot prediction was true from 2009 that we were joking about a month ago that said 39 days after Trump interviewed, or Rogan interviewed Trump, we would have this, World War III, War of the Worlds, not World War III, but War of the Worlds. You'd have UFOs versus our military. Now, this looks stuck in a tree, but it looks like it could be our drone. I don't know, but it doesn't have any wings. But you don't need wings if it's a quadcopter. So I'm a little skeptical on this one completely. Now, Whitley Strieber, my dear friend, as you know, also been on the show multiple times, said that these are aliens here to prevent us from using nuclear weapons and blowing ourselves to bits because we are their creation, essentially. But if that's the argument, why didn't they stop anything in World War II? They clearly were here. So I don't know if that's the case. I know they have a lot vested into this land because they have bases here. They may very well share this with us. Now, there's also the argument that when we set off nuclear weapons, it affects other dimensions. And that is another reason that we have essentially opened up the floodgates when we started testing in 45 and essentially brought them all here. Okay, I wrote down a few other things I wanted to tell you. We talked about the technology that they have, that we possibly have. But again, a lot of these are just our drones. The ones that don't make sense are the ones that are morphing, changing shape, or glowing. They're looking translucent, just weird stuff. Or how about the one you just saw that was taken out of an airplane? We're talking about the third phase of moon footage right now. Just a couple minutes ago. And they're literally at 35,000 feet, and you see these things out there. Now, again, a Predator or ISR drone, which is what the military uses, absolutely they go that high. They go higher. As a matter of fact, we have space drones. That's right, space drones. Google them. I don't have the exact model in front of me, but I remember coming home watching the world news, and it broke in to show a space drone landing after being in the orbit for 2 years. It blew my mind because no one knew about them going up. And of course, it took me a few years later before I actually tracked down the model number. The point is, we have a lot of this technology that they won't talk about. What's frustrating is we have Dumb and Dumber still running the government. And I cannot wait I really hope many of you are eager for a new administration that has some openness because, Trump said he would tell us what this is, these drones. He said the military should just tell you, but it's not his place because he hasn't been sworn in yet. So I'm kind of frustrated that we're at this state because as an American, you guys should be frustrated that we have these incursions because whatever it is not okay to be flying over our military installations or anything unimpeded. Oh, here is the airline footage. I guess it didn't come to that. I apologize, but I guess it piqued your interest. Check this out. There's actually two. So this is really, really mind-blowing stuff, but a lot of these are probably very explainable. What isn't explainable is that weird ring-looking thing that was just sort of spinning. Now, is it attached to a bottom of a craft and we're just seeing the light? Yes, very well may be. But if the entire craft is that ring, then that is where it starts to get crazier. Now, I've heard so many stories from you guys in the comments, and I really appreciate you guys telling me everything. And I want you to tell me everything from what you want me to talk about, what you want me to show. I also appreciate your own stories. I love to hear where you live, what you're seeing, and what your opinion is. Okay. I also love to speak to you people who are abductees or contactees. I want to hear all of it. I also welcome the videos you want me to review and to talk about. And remember, this channel has over 10 years of amazing interviews, some of the most high profile people you can imagine. A lot of them, most of them were done live stream. So you have to go to the live section to watch them. In hindsight, I should have just recorded them as a podcast. I was being nice because I wanted to get the chat involved by asking some of their questions. But what I realize now, which I should have paid attention then, is for some reason people don't go back to watch things that are already streamed. But interviews are interviews because if an event happened in 1995 and you interview the person in 2005, wouldn't it be better than hearing from closer to the time of the incident than later? So just because some of these interviews are a few years old, it shouldn't mean anything of why you shouldn't listen to them. Again, I want to know what you guys think of this mystery. Is it a nuclear war about starting? Another thing Alex Jones also said is this could be a psyop. That's right, a psyop. Why? A couple of reasons. One, mess with Trump. The deep state did it for so many years. He may very well just be more things to screw him up on day one. So he inherits 2 wars, a bad economy, and this mess. Another thing he also mentioned, the real psyop, is 2 things. What if they're testing our obedience the way they did with the lockdowns, right? Oh, we're going to make you do this for your own good. And then what do they do at the end? Take away more of our liberties. What if this is getting closer to the global reset and to the New World Order? I really hope that's not the case, but we have to entertain every possibility, as crazy as it may be, from political to paranormal to rational. And we really should be paying attention to our adversaries because we got some hot wars going on. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we got boots on the ground in both fronts. Yes, that's right. There are Americans fighting in Ukraine, in Russia, in Ukraine against Russia. We shouldn't be involved, for God's sakes. We've already sent them weapons, which we shouldn't have, but we shouldn't be involved. And we also have troops in Israel. It's just sickening and sad. And I really hope, not just peace, but give us the answer, people. I'm afraid we're never going to get it with the bureaucrats. That's why I'm kind of optimistic about what's happening with President Trump, and I really hope I'm right, because if we don't get anything out of that, it means we'll probably never get it. It's going to come from people like you, and also from whistleblowers like David Grush, Lou Elizondo, Bob Lazar, and people I've interviewed like Dr. Jonathan Reed, the guy who's actually still to this day has an alien bracelet, a teleportation device. It's mind-blowing. You need to see the interviews I did with him and the videos of that. Okay, this final video, by the way, I'm only playing it this far. This is the end of it, by the way, is because I think this is a hoax. And let me tell you why. I don't know what country this is. I think this very well could be India, but wait till it pans down, and I want you to see the people that are shooting the cameras. Why is that one guy taking a video of his damn car? Why everyone is kind of aiming towards the light pole? Did you notice that most people aren't even aiming at the so-called UFO? They're literally aiming at the light. Now, if this was real, what's interesting is the lights are flickering, right? We know that there's electrical interference all the time, but we also know that happens with cameras a lot. I don't know why, but a lot of times when you're trying to record something and there's lights, they appear blinking. But I think this is a hoax just because of that. What the hell are those people shooting? Because they're not filming that UFO. And that's why I think this one is bogus. So with that being said, I'm going to stop it at that. One last time, I'm going to review these notes and make sure I didn't skip anything. I mentioned that I have my people from NASA, CIA, DIA, NSA, FBI, even Secret Service, CBP, you name it, I have them. And I spoke to a lot of them this past week. I also spoke to more abductees. I'm not just going to say their names because I don't want to out people. And they also believe that this is essentially the reveal that we're finally ready, but more importantly, to supposedly save us, which I hope we're not stupid enough to nuke each other, but we seem to be on the brink of that. I mentioned the fact that this could be a Ukrainian nuke or somewhere else in the EU, or scarier, one of our supposed 80 missing nukes that went missing, I guess, in the 80s sometimes. It's weird, right? 80 missing nukes in the late 80s or somewhere in that era when they were decommissioned under Reagan, and why 40 years later it's coming back, or 35 years later, don't know. But that's just, I'm sure you guys have heard these rumors. You could be watching podcasts. You could have heard Ryan Graves on Joe Rogan. You could be watching CNN or Fox or whatever. They're all giving you some of it, but the government that knows a lot more than we do is telling us nada. Very, very frustrating. Anyway, with that being said, my friends, I am going to turn it to you. You tell me what you are seeing. You tell me what you think it is. You tell me where you think we're going. And you tell me what you want me to show you next. Please check out the interviews. Thank you for those who have given me super thanks. I super appreciate it. And everyone else out there, keep your eyes in the sky. Remember, when you capture something, try to get a reference point. Very, very important. And I will catch you on the flip side. Oh, check out my podcasts too under the live section.